The arrest of drug kingpins has been a strategy used by the United States for a number of years. It is important to target the kingpins. It's important to realize that for many drug traffickers, they know that once they're part of the U.S. justice system, they can't bribe their way out. They're going to face U.S. justice. So ensuring that kingpins face U.S. justice is a critical part of attacking these drug trafficking organizations. However, in order for us to be successful, we have to have a strategy that goes beyond the kingpins, that goes to the second, third, and fourth level drug traffickers in those organizations. So we need a strategy that attacks the entire organization. That's the only way to effectively destroy these drug trafficking organizations.
For years, the US had a kingpin strategy, namely that they would go after high-profile drug leaders, the Pablo Escobars, the El Chapos, the people that anyone who follows the news will have heard of. The idea being that if you arrest or take them out, kill them, that somehow you will better deal with the drug epidemic. It's a complete lie, because when El Chapo was arrested and is now facing, in fact, is in US prison for likely the rest of his life, it said zero impact on drug supply and drug demand in the US. Zero. What you've seen in his Sinaloa cartel is a fight over control over the spoils, not surprisingly, and a balkanization of that trade. So you've seen lots of other cartels pop up, some even more brutal than the Sinaloa cartel, fighting for territory and access to the drug market. So the US-led kingpin strategy is a failure because it doesn't actually work, and also it misunderstands how the drug trade works. A lot of people, the vast, vast majority of people in the drug trade who are working at low levels, from farmers and others, are not doing it to make a lot of money. In fact, most people in the drug trade don't make much money. Most people are not El Chapo. Most people are Colombian farmers growing coca just to make a living. So this idea somehow that the US has had in its head, and it's pressuring other neighboring states to do the same thing, to go after kingpins, is not working. And to me, this shows that many more sensible people in the DEA and the US administration are well aware of this. They know this strategy doesn't work. And to me, and I spoke to a lot of people in the DEA in my book, both on the record and off the record, there are some who are still big believers, who say we have the right as Americans to go after kingpins around the world. We have the right to end the drug war. We have the right to go after those who are supplying drugs to our kids on American streets. But until you actually address why a lot of people are taking drugs and why more and more people are taking drugs in the US, you're fighting a losing battle. It's like putting a finger in a dike. You are fighting a war that by definition will fail, and is failing and has failed. And that's why I think you're seeing in the US, even in the US, the heart of the drug war in the last decade or so, a sea change, not just in public opinion, but also in a range of politicians